Pinarayi vision is the strength of this government and this left front, and he is serving as a chief minister for the last 10 years has created a history.
As Kerala gears up for a high stakes election, jobs, industrial growth, and migration of youth dominate conversations. LDF's P. Rajeeve, Kerala's Industries Minister in the second Pinarayi cabinet, is at the center of these conversations. Rajeeve, a sitting MLA from Kalamassery, is seeking mandate once again. We're here at his residence. Will this election be a referendum on the LDF's industrial and growth policies? Let's ask him. Before we move further, I have an appeal for you. As you know, Kerala and Tamil Nadu are heading to very crucial assembly elections. Us, reporters of the News Minute, have been travelling across election-bound states to bring you important stories that matter. Remember, the stories and issues that we debate on now will decide our future. We're willing to do this work, but for that, we will need your support. Scan the QR code on the screen or log on to the TNM website and contribute to our election reporting fund. One of the major criticisms that's been thrown at the LDF is that Kerala does not generate enough jobs. In fact, BJP State President Rajeeve Chandrasekhar has given multiple interviews where he claims that Kerala is destroyed because of this lack of employment. How many jobs have we been able to generate across government and private sectors?
Actually, in the industry sector, as per the available data, more than 10 lakhs employments are generated during this period. In addition to that, using Kalamassery and other avenues, I think 3 or 4 lakhs employments are generated. Year of Enterprises is a campaign. It was recognized by the Prime Minister of India and also recognized by the American Society of Public Administration. As per that campaign, we could establish more than 4 lakhs new establishment, and the average employment is 3, then 8 to 9 employment opportunities. Small industries and big industries are also established during this period. And earlier there was a deep-rooted presumption Kerala is not suited for business and not generating employment. Now that the facts are far away from this propaganda. Most of the big IT companies of the world are functioning here. IT electronics companies are functioning here. Logistics companies are functioning here. Then ease of doing business, earlier we were he had been ranked as 28th. De facto nobody was behind us at that time. Now Kerala has been ranked number 1 in ease of doing business by the union government, not by us. Then several lakhs of employment opportunities are being generated during this period. But most of the people are looking for PSCs, government jobs. Then if you are checking with the employment exchange data or other data, while we are organizing mega job fair, in my own constituency, I have organized 5 mega job fair. But while going to the data available from the employment exchange, then when we are trying to reach them, they are working in some private establishments. In the documents, it is they are unemployed. That issue is there. Then I think this last 10 years we could create more employment opportunities and also private industrial establishment in the state of Kerala.
Right. Now, when we look at labor force data as well, though unemployment is still very high in Kerala, it has considerably come down in the last few years. What other plans does the LDF have?
Actually, the last 5 years we could attract more investment. Invest Kerala Global Summit, we could convert most of the EOEs, Explosion of Interest, into construction stage, and some industries already started their production process. And Davos, we could attract more than 1.14 billion US dollar investment. We are working on that. I think we have adopted a policy that is Industrial Policy 2023. That policy had identified 22 priority sectors, and this is the right time. Now investment flow is big, it is growing. I think if we will get the next 5 years, we could harvest these positive trends in investment scenario.
Right. The UDF and the BJP has also constantly been talking about young people leaving Kerala. Now, when we look at this is not just about jobs, but it's also about a certain cultural atmosphere and a standard of living. So, do you think that we are industrially and culturally capable of retaining these young creative minds?
As per the LinkedIn data, analyzing that updation of their members' profile, 40,000 Malayali professionals are reverse are coming back to their own state. Reverse or return migration is also happening. 40,000 from January to July 31st. Then one thing is correct, cultural or some mindset, it should be changed. But other living standards are very good compared to other parts of the country, and also we could generate more employment through startup ecosystem. We have in my own constituency we have a startup village and the largest electronic incubation system maker village is here.
Yeah.
And also now we have established an innovation zone, and also the wonderful material of the future, that is graphene. We have established a graphene aurora center in Kalamassery itself. Then and also campus industrial park, science cities. Then we are trying to convert the economy as a knowledge-based economy and the society as a knowledge society. That thing we are doing our best, but that is to some change in the mindset of the people is needed. Social relationship, and also we have tried to develop more avenues for spending time for the youth who are working in these sectors.
So, in Kerala's push for this industrial growth, where do women-led enterprises fit in?
This one interesting fact is, as per this year of enterprises, more than 35% are women entrepreneurs. If you are going to Udyam registration, almost same is the women participation. That is highest in the country. Women entrepreneurship percentage is in Kerala is the highest in the country. And now we are working hard. We are giving more opportunity to them. We are establishing a pink park exclusively for women entrepreneurs, and also special loan scheme for them. These type of initiatives we are taking.
Right. If you look at the CMI data to 2021 to 2025, it says that Kerala has done quite well in growth and investment across key sectors. But the report also says that most of the new MSMEs are in the service and retail sectors and not in high value manufacturing. Is this concerning?
No, some changes are there. While we are comparing with the former data, the percentage of the manufacturing in these MSMEs are increasing. And if we, after completion, I think the new industrial smart city at Palakkad, after its completion, it could be as a anchor mechanism for attack more small industries. Then for manufacturing side also, now we are allowing 50% of the house for industrial purposes. Then one anchor industry in electronic sector, then small units we can establish by women entrepreneurs utilizing their own houses. And also we have very high skilled human resources which is unused in the houses. That is MCOM housewife or homemaker, that MBA homemaker are also here. Then we are utilizing that, the two things, and then that is true. We have to establish more MSMEs in manufacturing sector, but we have taken certain initiatives to develop the existing nano, micro, small and medium establishment for upscaling these type of industries. Mission 1 lakh, that is to transform 1 lakh small units to with 1 crore turnover. That means 1 lakh crore turnover. And also mission 1000, that is 1000 MSMEs with 100 crore turnover. These type of initiatives we are taking to scaling up the existing industries in manufacturing sector in MSME.
You just spoke about the Davos summit, and at the Davos summit, you did speak about sustainable development. Also, so in Kerala, you're a left leader, you're a minister of a left party. Kerala is also very strong in its trade union forces. So, I want to ask you one question, two parts. One is, how do you balance? What are your thoughts on balancing environmental fragility and new businesses, and also with respect to trade unions, ensuring workers' rights and also reassuring investors?
Environment issues is very big concern for the state of Kerala. That is why the motto of our industrial policy is nature, people, industry, not in reverse order. And we are focusing to attract more investment on ESGs, environmental social governance. Kerala is the first state in the country which has adopted an ESG policy. Then our land is very ecologically fragile, and we are very seriously taking, we are seriously concerned about protecting the environmental sustainability and diversification of these crops and faunas. We are trying our best to do that. That is why we are not focusing on big manufacturing polluting industries. The second side, trade union, actually the facts which is available from the union government, the highest number of the strikes happening in the last 1 decade is not in the state of Kerala.
Right.
That is in another state. Second is not in not in Kerala. Third is not in Kerala. We are not in the last first 10 ranks. But there is a deep-rooted perception only in Kerala the strikes are happening. But one thing is very clear. Our motto is RIRI, responsible investment, responsible industries. And the industries should follow the labor laws. They should pay the minimum wages, also protect the uh, in law statutes while running industries in the state of Kerala. Then while we are organizing a big campaign, Year of Enterprises, we have convened a meeting of the leaders of the trade unions. And before IKGS, we have convened their meeting and we have extended invitation to the trade union leaders to participate in the Invest Kerala Global Summit. That does not happen in any part of the state, any part of the country. And all trade union leaders, they were participated in the meeting and they have give promises to against any type of illegal strikes or that type of activities.
Right. Coming to a little bit of electoral politics, do you think this election is going to be a referendum on the LDF or on Pinarayi Vijayan's 2 terms as Chief Minister? Because when we look at the LDF campaigns also, it seems like the whole of the front's work is consolidated into his leadership. That is the prominent face that we see as leader of the front. So is this going to be a referendum on Pinarayi Vijayan or the LDF?
No, for all ministries, Chief Minister is the face of the government and Prime Minister is the face of the union government. And once Supreme Court has clearly given a direction, only CMs and PM and CMs photos should be used for this advertisement. That is the directive from the Supreme Court. But Pinarayi Vijayan is the strength of this government and this left front, and he is serving as a chief minister for the last 10 years. He's created a history, and left he is working as the chief minister, but he is leading a team. We are working as a team, and we are enjoying full freedom to by working with the CM. He is not intervening in all departments or ministries, and Pinarayi Vijayan is very reputed political leader of the states and he has very good respect, irrespective of political affiliations and religious affiliation among the people of the state of Kerala.
To wrap up, I also want to ask you about the BJP. We have seen that in the last few years, BJP has been able to gain considerable vote share in Kerala. What do you think is aiding this?
I think BJP could not win any seat in this.
No, they've after the Lok Sabha elections, their vote share has increased by 4%, like as per the 2024.
But these local bodies, there's no vote share is not that much increased.
Right. They've managed to get seats, but this seem to be slowly making inroads. What do you think are
Actually,
the
RSS has the highest number of shagas in Kerala compared to the state, but they could not get any political support during the last several years. They could won one seat in 2016, but they lost by TPIM in the last election. They could won one seat in parliament, this Trishur. I think it will lose in the next election.
What do you think is slowly giving way for this? Kerala is said to be a state that has a very left conscience rooted in people's movements and resistance movements. So, why do you think even a small fraction of people, as it may be now, are moving towards? Why do you think that conscience may be giving way into those forces?
Because Kerala is within the India. Several and the world and the world politics and national politics, we could see communalization is increasing, racism is increasing, and most of the political parties ruling the different countries are based on this racism, on extreme communalism. Then these changes, we are trying our best to prevent this type of intrusion to the society of the state of Kerala. And that requires more vigilant cultural campaign and political campaign against this type of activities.
Okay. To wrap up, do you think that this trend in Kerala that we have of two parties is bipolar democracy, where two parties are mainly competing with each other? Do you think for a democracy that is better, or that it is better to have 3 or more fronts for people to choose from?
Yeah, now different parties are contesting in the election. Left Democratic Front and United Democratic Front, they are the major forces. And NDA is also fighting here, but not as a major force. In this political combinations are different before 80s. At 80s there was a change. Then 82 it has been collapsed. Then left Democratic Front this type of front is functioning. I think democracy is always functioning with the auditing of the people in
Right.
each and every 5 years. The continuity of the government gave more momentum to the development activities of the state. Earlier, we have faced a criticism this left could not complete a full term of governance. 57 to 59, 67 to 69,
Yes.
80 to 82, then 87 to 91. 91 we had resigned to contest it in to organize elections of the parliament and assembly in the same time. Then 2096 to 2000, that is the first left government completed full time. Then we lost.
Yeah.
Then 2006 to 2011, we could again complete a full time. Then next election 2011, we missed the opportunity by a very small
Yes.
difference
Yeah.
in seats and votes.
Yeah.
Thereafter, but the 2016 UDF government is the government with a least majority for governance in the state of Kerala. In 2016, we got the power. At that time also, Congress seat has declined. Then 2021, we could again continue the governance,
Right.
but with larger number of seats.
Yes.
That shows the continuity is good for the state,
Okay.
good for the people, and good for the secular credentials of the state.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Wish you the best.
Thank you.